Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. Friends, while I'm finished being giddy over the launching of the membership tiers, I'm back to hard work right now because it's earnings season. I've been trying to figure out why Crispr was falling and have not been able to find any reason. Today, at the time of recording this video, Crispr had released the Q2 earnings and the market rewarded it with a 9.74% gain, making it the top performer in our genomic charts. Let's talk about this. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Why don't we start with the price chart and then get into the financials and other details. Here is the chart for Crispr. If you look at this chart, each of these candles is a 1 hour chart. It's the chart for Crispr Therapeutics. And as you can see, we had been dropping in the last 5 days. And today seems to be a trend reversal. I'm calling it a trend reversal even before one more candle comes in here, mainly because we broke through this resistance at 50.31. Therefore, I'm expecting this support to help us tomorrow. And the only thing that stopped us today was the resistance, which is at 54.47. So that's what happened. And if you look at the earnings and revenue, they did very well. The estimate was 2.127 for earnings per share negative, and they came in at minus 0.98, which is a solid beat. They came in 53.93% better than expectation in EPS. And when it comes to revenue, they did extremely well. It was estimated that they would make around 1.8 million. Instead, they made 70 million. So that's also a beat. Naturally, we had the jump of 9.75%. However, momentum still needs to pick up. It's still below average. So I would look forward to momentum going above average tomorrow. RSI has plenty of room to run. And MACD is just about getting started turning towards the signal line. And it has to cross over to the bullish side. So there is a lot of work to be done on this chart. And our next resistance is at 54.47. And after that, we have resistance at 56.36. So that's what we have out here. Well, now let us turn our attention to the Q2 earnings release, where we are going to look at the pipeline related information. The thing that caught my eye was the PDUFA target action date for Exa-cel is December 8, 2023 for sickle cell disease and March 30, 2024 for TDT. So just as an aside, this means that Bluebird Zynteglo will face competition from Exa-cel post-March 2024. So there is plenty of time for Bluebird to ramp up, consolidate its market share, and get its action together. And when we talk about the other therapies, enrollment and dosing is ongoing for CTX110 and CTX130. Enrollment and dosing is also ongoing for VCTX211 for type 1 diabetes, and VCTX210 is also going through clinical trials in Canada. Enrollment and dosing was initiated for CTX112 and CTX131. Now let us turn to the financials and check out what I have. I have a table here for you. If you look at this table, you'll see that the cash position and accounts receivable decreased slightly from Q1 to Q2 2023, indicating increased spending on operating expenses despite receiving an upfront payment and research milestone payment. But this could raise concerns about the company's ability to manage expenses effectively. And if you look at the revenue side, collaboration revenue decreased from 100 million in Q1 to 70 million in Q2 2023, but still it came above expectations. This reduction could be attributed to the specific timing of revenue recognition, primarily linked to non-exclusive license agreement and with Vertex and research milestones. Friends, as I told you before, it's very difficult to estimate the earnings for these companies because it relies on collaboration milestones, and it's never a sure thing. But if they had product lines which are already selling in the market, then there is a market trend and there is some previous records based on which earning can be extrapolated. I think for Crispr Therapeutics, we'll get more or less into that situation in 2024. That said, if you look at R&D expenses, despite a reduction in external research and manufacturing costs, R&D expenses increased slightly from Q1 to Q2 2023. This suggests that the internal research and development efforts might have intensified during the second quarter. And then moving on to general and administrative expenses, we can see that they decreased in Q2 2023, reflecting successful cost control efforts or cost management efforts, particularly in external professional cost. Any earnings extends the cash runway, so I'm all for it. And now looking at collaboration expenses, it increased in Q2 2023, largely driven by higher manufacturing and pre-commercial costs associated with the Exa-cel program. This indicates significant investment in advancing collaborative projects. But as we saw in case of Bluebird, I'm expecting that post Q1 2024, when Exa-cel is already commercialized, all the expenses related to Exa-cel will no longer figure in R&D expenses. So we'll be seeing a slightly lower R&D expense out here. Now turning to profit or loss, the net loss widened in Q2 2023 compared to Q1 2023, which could be attributed to the increased collaboration expenses and higher operating costs. Of course, we are in an inflationary environment and tight labor condition. So those things seem to overshadow the revenue generated during the period. And then when I look at the company's financial performance, seems to be heavily influenced by collaboration agreements and milestones, particularly with Vertex. Effective management of collaborative expenses and continued revenue growth will be crucial for improving profitability. It's easier said than done for Crispr, because until Exa-cel gets monetized, we are not going to have a mix of revenue. Part of which is predictable because it's monetized therapy, and the other which is unpredictable because it's based on collaboration and milestones. So we are getting there. So we need to have some more patience. And while the company has a strong cash position, the consistent net losses raise question about the future long-term financial sustainability. And the company needs to balance its spending on R&D, collaborations, and operating expenses to ensure a more sustainable path to profitability. And I think Crispr will be able to manage to achieve that once monetization of Exa-cel happens, because slowly and steadily the revenues will be far more than the expenses, and things will start looking better for the balance sheet. And risks and opportunities for Crispr Therapeutics basically revolve around the dependency of the company on collaboration agreements and milestone achievements. Diversification of revenue sources and efficient cost management are essential to mitigate risks and maximize opportunities, especially because biotechnology is a very dynamic field. And again, 2024 will see Crispr doing better in these areas as well. Now, friends, I would like to tell you what my personal opinion is about Crispr. Of course, everything that I say in my videos is my personal opinion and not financial advice. So take it with a pinch of salt. I would like to know what you guys think as well. So put that in the comments below. So I have 100 Crispr shares, and I have sold $60 worth of covered calls, which are expiring on 11th of August 2023. I'm personally bullish on Crispr. Even if my shares get taken away, I'm happy with the margins that I have collected. And if I get to keep the 100 Crispr shares, I'm very happy. It's a long-term investment for me. So if my calls end up having me to give up my shares, I'll definitely buy back Crispr if the price goes down. And I'll definitely have it in my long-term portfolio. I'm personally bullish on Crispr, and if I was not already holding 100 Crisprs, I would have definitely taken the advantage of the recent low prices and bought some a couple of days ago. So I'm very optimistic that in the last quarter, we'll see a ramp up in Crispr stock price. There are two reasons for this. The first, of course, is Exa-cel. The second is the expectation that we will be in a dovish Fed environment and potentially easing financial environment. And as a result, the bond yields will start dropping. And when the bond yields start dropping, investors will be much more open to high risk, high reward stocks. And Crispr is exactly that. I would be happy to see Crispr touch a high of around $67 in Q4 2023. It could go beyond that, but I can say up to 67 is where I can see it go based on the technicals that we have. And now my question to you today is, what do you think will be the high for Crispr in Q4 2023? Please put a number in the comment section. I would be very keen to read it. That's all for now, my friends. I'll be back with the next video soon. It's earnings season, so I may have more than one video every day. And many thanks to all our wonderful subscribers who have enabled membership facility in this channel. And also a big thanks to the 4 members who signed up immediately on inauguration. I really appreciate that. And I hope more of you would join, and we'll have some fun in the members only section. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.